Hello, third graders. I am back and we are now going to do lesson 2, module 7. The I can statement is the same as your lesson 1. It says I can solve word problems in varied contexts using a letter to represent the unknown. Here we go. One problem says Mr. Cullen needs 91 carpet squares. Chunk that. He has 49 carpet squares. If the squares are sold in boxes of 6, how many more boxes of carpet squares does Mr. Cullen need to buy? Now let's think. What does Mr. Cullen needs? Carpet squares. We know that he needs 91, but we know that he also has some already. So let's write all these numbers under R. 91, 49, 6, and the question. And let's take a look again. What's the meaning of these numbers? 91 is what he needs, okay? 49 is what he has. 6 is the number of squares in a box because it says boxes of 6. Okay, so that means each box has 6. So why don't we just put 6 inside a box? So we will remember that. So number of carpet squares, CS, in a box. And of course, the question is asking how many more boxes of carpet squares does Mr. Cullen needs to buy or need to buy. So this is number of carpet squares he needs to buy. And make sure that you know that it should be in boxes. So number of boxes. Okay? Of carpet squares that he needs to buy. This is two-step problem or maybe more. So let's take a look. Okay, let's divide this. And now let's begin with the 91 that he needs. So we know that that's going to be the total, okay? That's your 91 is your total because that's the total number of carpet squares that he needs. Now, that consists of two things. Something that he has, okay? And something that he needs to buy. So this is what he needs, and what he has is 49, but I don't know how many more he needs to buy. And we can just label that as a C for the unknown number, okay? So now let's take a look. How am I going to figure out letter C? I know that if I add 49 plus C, it's going to give me 91. So what do I do to find the C? I can subtract 91 and 49. And that will give me the answer. So let's subtract vertically. It's easier. 1 minus 9, we need to regroup. 11 minus 9 is 2. 8 minus 4 is 4. So C is equal to 42. But this is not the answer because it's not asking how many carpet squares. It's asking how many more boxes. So that means if I have 42 carpet squares, how many boxes will there be? So now this is going to help us, a tape diagram. You know that your total is 42 carpet squares. You also know that in one box, it has 6 carpet squares. Now let's skip count. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. I stop on 42. Now I found out that how many groups are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means 7 boxes. He needs 7 boxes of carpet squares. Now let's write a number sentence for that. Remember, boys and girls, G times S equals T. Your G is a known. You know your size and you know your total. So that what did we really do? we divided 42 divided by 6 equals G, and G is 7. 7 boxes. To answer the question with a statement, he needs 7 boxes more of carpet squares. All right, that is so fast. Let's try the next problem. It says, Monica scored 32 points for her team at the Science Bowl. She got 5 4-point questions correct, and the rest of her points came from answering 3-point questions. How many 3-point questions did she get correct? Okay, so boys and girls, remember when I give you tests or quizzes, sometimes a number doesn't only count 1 point. Sometimes it will have 2 points, 3 points, or 4 points. So it's just like that. So now let's write the numbers that we saw in the problem. So this is the total score that she scored. Okay? That's the total points. Okay? Now, next is she got 5 4-point questions correct. So that means if you have 5 questions, you have 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay? So this is your 4-point question. That's the value of each question. Now, we don't know how many 3-point questions she got. Okay? So that's basically what we're trying to look for. How many 3-point questions did she get? So now we can just assign Q for that unknown number. Now let's start with our tape diagram. Okay, I'm going to divide that because I know that this is a 2-step word problem. Okay, so we know that the total points, we have 32. Okay, now we also know that there's 5 4-point questions. So why don't we make 5 4-point questions? 1 question, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to put 4 there because that is the value of each question. Okay, so that is 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. I don't know how many 3-point questions. Okay, so I'm just going to put that as a question mark or the letter Q. Okay, now to figure this out, I have to make sure that I know the subtotal. When I say sub, it's just part of the whole thing. The subtotal of the 4-point question. Let's count. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. That's 5 groups of 4, which is 5 times 4. And so this is equal to 20. How will I figure out the Q? Subtract 32 minus 20. And that's going to be your Q. The answer is, of course, 32 minus 20 is 12. Q is equal to 12. So now that I know that it's 12 points, okay, I can write that as a total. I know it's 3 points per question. So how many 3s are there going to be? Skip count. 3, 6, 9, 12. How many questions? 4 questions. Because what we did here is 12 divided by 3 equals the Q. So Q is 4. How many 3-point questions did she get correct? She got 4 3-point questions correct. Okay, now let's proceed to our last problem of the day before you do your exit ticket. It says Cassia's and Javier's combined height is 267 centimeters. Cassia's is 128 centimeters tall. How much taller is Javier than Cassia's? Now, boys and girls, as you can see, it's not asking how tall is Javier. It's asking how much taller is Javier than Cassia's. But I don't know how tall Javier is. So that means this is a 2-step word problem. All right, let's write down important numbers and tell me, and let's say what's the meaning or tell the meaning of each numbers. So 267 is the combined height of who? Kasia and Javier, C and J. Now 128 centimeters is Kasia's height. Okay? Now, what is the question? How much taller is Javier than Kasia? Okay, so now that we have everything ready for us, we will now draw. What we can draw here is, again, a tape diagram. We know that the combined height is 267 centimeters. I know Kasia's height is 128, but I don't know Javier's. So we can just write J for the unknown here. Now, again, to get the answer, we will just subtract these numbers, 267 minus 128. 7 minus 8, I need to regroup. 17 minus 8 is 9. 5 minus 2 is 3. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So Javier's height is 139 centimeters. But that's not the answer. We're trying to figure out how much taller is Javier. Now, let's compare their height. Since this is height, we can just draw a tape diagram vertically. Okay, so this is Javier. He is 139 cm. And this is Kasia's. She is 128. So most likely, of course, she's shorter. Now we are trying to figure out this area right here. This area right here. Because it's asking how much taller Javier is, which is this part. And of course, that's going to be the difference. Difference means we will subtract. 139 minus 128 is 9 minus 8, 1. 3 minus 2, 1. 1 minus 1, 0. So the answer is Javier is 11 centimeters taller than Kasia. Okay, that's it, boys and girls, for today. I hope that you are going to try your best to answer your problem sets, but just make sure that you submit your exit ticket. Show your work and think, think, think with great focus. Bye and see you on lesson 3.